Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dude with a Fork. My name is Ken. On today's episode of Ken Tries Stuff, we're trying Roma Pizza. It's a frozen pizza. What can I say? It's an inexpensive frozen pizza. I was curious because they sell them at Menards a lot, and on the Menards subreddit, they do not get they get dissed all the time. My local grocery store had them on sale. Buy one get one free. I got there on the last day of the sale and grabbed what I could find, which was nothing but pepperoni. But I thought I love pepperoni, so for $2 a piece, we'll give it a shot. I've got the oven heating up, so let's get started. All right, well, here it is, our Roma Pizza. It's nothing fancy, but it says thanks for over 60 years reaching for a Roma. And as we can see, it's not a gigantic one like that Wild Mike's one was. This fits on my pizza pan just fine. It's pepperoni made with pork, chicken, and beef, made with real cheese. Yeah, so let's look at the back here. So, oh wow. All right, so servings per container, 2. Serving size is half a pizza. How big is this? This is net weight 10.54 ounces, or basically 300 grams. It's not a huge pizza. I only paid $2. So serving size is half a pizza. Per serving is 360 calories. You're getting 17 grams of fat, which is 22%. You're getting 7 grams of saturated fat, which is 35. No trans fat. 40 milligrams of cholesterol, which is 13%. 820 milligrams of sodium, which is 36%, which seems a little high because I am obviously going to eat the entire pizza probably. And I'm going to eat more than this in a day, but it is 720 calories in the whole pizza, so that's you're a third of the way to your daily value of calories if you're on a 2,000 calorie diet. It has 2 grams of fiber, believe it or not. 4 grams of total sugars, including 1 gram of added sugars, which is probably in the sauce. Because a little bit of sugar in tomato sauce is a very typical thing. 17 grams of protein, which is not too bad. It says keep frozen until ready for baking. Bake according to instructions. Preheat oven to 450, which is hot. Most of these are 400, 425. It does say do not eat pizza without cooking. The only frozen food I like to eat without cooking is like ice cream and popsicles. So that instruction at least makes sense. So lots of ingredients. It's mostly crust. Then there's sauce. Then there's low moisture part skim mozzarella cheese. There's pepperoni. I'm looking for anything really weird. There's sorbitan monostearate and ascorbic acid. That's part of the dough conditioner, which if you've eaten store-bought bread or eaten, a hamburger from any restaurant, you've eaten dough conditioners. There's mold inhibitor. It's kind of an odd thing to put in dough, so makes me think they're letting it sit out in a cooler somewhere and develop a really nice yeasty flavor. It's not just cheap mix it up and use it dough. It's one of those long fermentation kind of doughs, maybe. We will see. Pepperoni has separated chicken, beef, pork, salt, contains 2% or less of water, dextrose, spices, smoke flavoring, other flavoring, lactic acid, starter culture in their pepperoni. So that's also impressive. Sodium ascorbate, which is related to vitamin C, I believe. Garlic powder, oleoresin of paprika, which is just coloring. Sodium nitrate, of course, because it's a lunch meat. Citric acid, BHA, and BHT, which are preservatives. There's not a lot. It does say contains a bioengineered food ingredient, which is probably the wheat that is going in the crust. So I'm going to get a pair of scissors. I always forget that part. So I want to see, does it actually look like what it looks like here on the picture? Sometimes with pizzas, sometimes you get lucky, and they do look pretty much like what you see in the picture. We will see. I'm really interested to try this because it's not an expensive pizza. There's very little extra stuff caught in the plastic, which is also amazing. It's usually with these frozen pizzas, there's a ton of stuff caught in there. And wow, that's a good-looking pizza. Now, there is a lot of cheese around the edge here, which I'm just going to peel off. I don't want it sticking to my pizza pan. It just makes it hard to get off the pan. And then it makes it hard to clean the pan. So there's a lot more on this side. Yeah, things obviously slid a little bit. But this has a pretty good distribution of toppings, unlike other frozen pizzas that I've seen. I'm going to do a little bit of material redistribution here myself. But I don't have to do a lot. I've knocked a couple of pieces off there. Might spread these pepperonis out just a little bit more, but that's pretty impressive. Keep in mind, this is a $2 pizza. So this is getting exciting for me. I wish I'd gotten there in time to get maybe like a Supreme pizza, but by the time I got there, all they had were pepperoni, which, like I said, is fine. Look at that. Look at that. That's amazing. That's pretty good. It looks very close. There were a couple of pieces in here, right? Tiny little pieces of cheese. I don't want to waste anything because I'm just that way. So yeah, I'm gonna go get this in my oven, which I do believe is preheated. It says 8 to 12 minutes. So I will be back with this on a cutting board in 8 to 12 minutes, which is a wide range of times. That's odd, but anyway. I'll be back with cooked pizza, and we shall see. And there we have it, folks. Look at that. Look at that. It's pretty doggone close. I think this picture's zoomed in a little bit because these pepperoni are larger than these, but that's okay. And watch this. It just slides off the pizza pan. The crust isn't broken anywhere. It's a gorgeous thing. I'm getting smarter. I let this sit here for about 5 minutes before I tried to film this scene. So I'm just going to cut it with my handy dandy. That's a little crispy. You know, my oven is so wonky that anytime something weird happens when I'm cooking something in it, I always assume it's not the product's fault. It's the fault of the of my oven, because everything in this apartment sucks, including the refrigerator, the stove, everything. So I'm just going to keep turning this. It's looking good. It smells really good. I was amazed at how good this smelled when it was cooking in the oven. Look at that. Wow. I am impressed so far. This seems like a really old school frozen pizza. So I got my old school plate. And again, of course, I have not cut this up even close to evenly. So I guess half of the pizza would be, this line seems to be the most even. So this is one serving. This is another serving. I could actually live with that. So I'm going to get this piece here, which seems pretty average looking. Get it on there. Look at that. Oh, it's Pac-Man. I can't make that sound. I used to work with somebody that could make that sound. That was amazing. That's a pretty good pizza. Look at that. Look at that. Well, too close. Yeah, and look at the crust. Look at the crust. First of all, I did not cook this on the bare oven rack like you're supposed to. So, but it still has some nice browning on the bottom. It's a thinner crust. But yeah, so I want to just get in here and get a bite, because this has my mouth watering. That's really good pizza. I don't know what the people on the Menards subreddit are complaining about. The sauce is good. The cheese is good. The pepperoni is good. One thing I always worry about, because frozen pizzas say cook them right on the rack, and I insist on cooking them in a pan. I'm always worried the crust will get soggy. This did not, and you can see it's nice and crispy around the edge, just like I like it. I'm wondering if I'm tasting that fermented dough flavor. The crust is a little bland. That's fine. This pepperoni, I got to get a taste of this. For $2 pizza pepperoni, that's really amazing. That tastes like expensive pepperoni. Wow, yeah. I have no complaints with this. It's just pepperoni, so it's a little plain. It doesn't have Italian spice like the Bellatoria did. It doesn't come with a little spice packet like the Wild Mike's did. It's not a huge pizza, so you get to eat half of it. Most importantly, it's a $2 pizza. It was on sale, at least. When they go on sale, buy one, get one free again. I would have no hesitation to buy like 4 of these and just keep them in the freezer. This is a really, really good pizza. If I paid regular price for this, $4, I would be perfectly happy. I wish I could try the Supreme. I want to know if this is better than Jack's, because Jack's is a pretty good cheap pizza. Is this better? I've never had I can't remember the last time I had Jack's pepperoni. I always get the Supreme, so I want to be able to get both of them and compare. I have no issues with this. This is a great pizza. I highly recommend if you're looking for a good cheap frozen pizza to keep in the freezer. This is the kind of thing that you have when your 12-year-old's like, hey, can I have a couple of friends sleep over? And you're like, what am I going to feed them? And you just grab a couple of these out of the freezer and throw them in the oven. And they're going to be like, oh my gosh, you made pizza. You're the best parent ever. And they will be perfectly happy with this. I, as an adult with a very sophisticated palate, obviously, I jest, but this is really good pizza for $2. I would happily pay $4, which was the full price. So buy one, get one free is a heck of a bargain. Definitely recommend you try this one. Next time they go on sale, I'm going to get in there early. I'm going to grab the Supreme. We'll try that one too. Thanks for over 60 years of reaching for Roma. Yeah, I'd be happy eating this pizza for 60 years. It's not a big pizza. Like I said, it's only 10.5 ounces or roughly 300 grams, but you're getting your money's worth, definitely. So I have no qualms. So I definitely recommend trying these.
And that's it, folks. As always, thank you so much for watching. Links to free printable copies of any recipes here are down below in the show notes. Please like, comment, or if you'd like to see more of this kind of material, subscribe. As always, please stay safe, eat great food, and power to the proletariat. We'll see you next time.